Good morning, Portsmouth.
Morning.
And welcome to our Veterans Day celebration. Today's celebration is actually co-hosted by the City of Portsmouth and by the Mayor's Military Affairs Committee. I want to recognize a couple of Military Affairs Committee members, Colonel Irv Lindley. He's our token Army guy. And also the chairperson of the Military Affairs Committee. If there's something going on around town that has to do with the military, you can pretty much bet that Colonel Lindley is somehow involved. So, Irv, thanks for your service to the city and also to the United States Army. And Captain Ron Peterman wearing that ugly Penn State sweatshirt. Another member of the Mayor's Military Affairs Committee. So we have some folks to recognize this morning who are sitting in the crowd. I want to do that before we get too far along. First, my colleagues on City Council, of course, the Mayor, Councilman Bill Moody, and Councilman Vernon Tillage. Also, we have a special dignitary in the crowd today. We worked hard to get him here. Sergeant Major Clyde Toller visits City Council meetings pretty much every City Council meeting. Sergeant Major Toller is 97, just celebrated his 97th birthday. And he is, I'm guessing, the only World War II veteran in the crowd today. Are there any other World War II veterans here today? Okay, Sergeant Major served in World War II, in Korea, and in Vietnam. Sergeant Major started out as an Army guy, but we claim him in the Marine Corps because that's where he ended up, and he's got a nice United States Marine Corps patch on his jacket. So today is one of three national celebrations during the year around people who serve in the military. The celebration where we lift up those who are currently in uniform is called Armed Forces Day. That celebration is done around the 20th of May. And then the celebration that recognizes really the remembrance that recognizes those who gave their last full measure while in uniform. Memorial Day is celebrated in the last Monday of May. And of course, Portsmouth has one of the longest consecutive running Memorial Day parades to recognize our military folks who gave their lives while in service. So today is neither of those 2 days. Today is really a day of celebration for those who served and came home. The history of our Veterans Day celebration actually started right after the completion of World War I. So the armistice for World War I went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. That's when the fighting ceased at the end of World War I. 1 year later, in 1919, President Woodrow Wilson declared that we would celebrate that day going into the future, and it was called Armistice Day because that was the day of the World War I armistice. In 1938, Armistice Day became a federal holiday. And then in 1954, Armistice Day was changed to Veterans Day as a way of remembering and celebrating not only those who served in World War I, but also the 16 million who served during World War II and the 4 or so million that served in the Korean conflict. You know, back in 1980, around the time that I started my military service, that was a long time ago, about 18% of the United States adult population were veterans, and most of them were World War II, Korean, and Vietnam veterans. Today, the adult population, only about 6% of our U.S. adult population are veterans. About 4% of our veterans are from the pre-Vietnam era, so that's World War II and Korea. So only 4% of our remaining veterans are from World War II and Korea. About 30% of our veterans are Vietnam vets. Another 22% of our veterans served during the Cold War, and their service ended between the end of Vietnam and the beginning of all of our Middle East conflicts. And a full 43% of our veterans today served starting in Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom, and the battles that have been fought against the war on terror. 43% of our vets. 3 or 4 years ago, I was asked to be the guest speaker at this event, and so I went back and looked at the notes that I made in preparation for that speaking event. So only 3 or 4 years ago, there were about 23 million living veterans in the United States. Today, there are about 18 million. So in the last 4 or 5 years, we have lost about 5 million veterans, and many of those veterans are World War II veterans and Korean veterans who perished as a result of old age. But the fact is, we continue to lose veterans every day. On average, 17 veterans a day who commit suicide. And so while Veterans Day is intended to celebrate the fact that our veterans came home, the fact is that many veterans came home, particularly from our most recent conflicts, where the battlefield medicine is so much better today that the vets were saved on the battlefield to come home, but in many cases show their physical scars, and in a lot of cases are scarred emotionally, and those scars are not necessarily seen, but certainly felt. Those 17 veterans on average who are likely to commit suicide today, that suicide rate is about 57% higher than the average suicide rate across the country. And you all know, as a result of the pandemic, the increase in post-traumatic stress has been high, and it's a national problem, but it's an acute problem amongst our veterans. So today is a day to celebrate the homecoming of all those who served and lived to tell about it, but also an opportunity, as you see veterans, to provide your encouragement to them, because you and I don't know what scars they may be suffering from. So with that background, it's time to move into our ceremony. The first item on our agenda is the presentation of colors. We have a color guard from the Portsmouth Police Department and the Portsmouth Fire Department. Would you please stand while the colors are being presented? Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. Parade the colors.
Ouch! Honor guard. Halt. Left. Ace. Present. Colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Retire the colors.
Right. Ace. Oh, Lord. Ouch.
Please be seated. It's now my honor to introduce our mayor. Mayor Shannon Glover was elected to be our mayor in 2020. And Shannon is a Navy vet. Like many of us, was drawn to Hampton Roads and to Portsmouth because of his Navy service. And so would you please welcome our mayor, Shannon Glover, for his remarks.
Since it's Veterans Day, I'm going to do my colleague an honor and address him as Admiral Hugel. I think that's appropriate. And thank you for your service, sir. Good morning. This is very much a good day today. And I just want to thank all of you for coming out today to celebrate Veterans Day with us, especially our military veterans that are here with us today. Veterans Day is a day of profound significance. You know, when I think about Veterans Day, I think of my father-in-law who served in Korea. I think of our son who served in the United States Army. And I think of my wife, though we don't say this enough about our military spouses who served with me in the United States Navy. It is a day when we take time to recognize bravery, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication of the valiant individuals who have served our country. This day offers a moment for us to express our deepest gratitude and respect for those who have selflessly defended the freedoms we hold dear. Although America is not perfect, we still strive for that perfect union. The courage displayed by our veterans, both past and present, have been a cornerstone of our nation's strength. Their commitment to duty, their resilience in the face of adversity, their sacrifice, often made far from home and family, embody the highest ideals of our nation. Our country's veterans have shown unwavering courage in the most challenging of circumstances, and their sacrifices echo throughout history. It is crucial for all of us to remember that these men and women have faced dangers of conflict, endured the burdens of military service, and have put their lives on the line to protect our liberties. Their dedication has ensured the preservation of our cherished way of life. So as we reflect on the service of our veterans today, it is vital that we not only honor them with words, but with actions as well. We must strive to create a society where veterans are not just remembered on specific holidays, but they are supported every day. I want to thank my good friend Sergeant Major Clyde Toller for his service. And I'm glad to see him here, 97 years strong, today with us. Thank you, sir, for your service. To our veterans, on behalf of the Portsmouth City Council and the citizens of this great city, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude. Your service and bravery have not gone unnoticed. Your dedication to our to our nation serves as an inspiration to us all. And today, we thank you and want you to know that we appreciate your sacrifices and service to our country. In closing, let us remember that Veterans Day is a day of reflection, gratitude, and most importantly, it is a call to action. As a proud Navy veteran myself, I hope that we can continue to strive to make our communities places where veterans are cared for and given the respect they unquestionably deserve. Thank you. God bless our veterans, their families, and God bless the United States of America. Enjoy your day.
So our guest speaker today is the 111th Norfolk Naval Shipyard Commander, Captain Jip Mossman. Jip is a graduate of Colorado State University. That's where he got his undergraduate degree and his master's degree from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He earned his commission as a Navy ensign after college in the Navy nuclear power program and has served in nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, USS Nimitz, USS Enterprise, and most recently USS George Washington, where Jip was the chief engineer. He's had several Navy maintenance tours, including right before coming here in June. Jip was the shipyard commander at the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard in Bremerton. So Jip's one of those folks who gets the opportunity to command two Navy shipyards. Would you please join me in welcoming the 111th Norfolk Naval Shipyard Commander, Captain Jip Mossman.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is with immense pride and gratitude that we gather here today in Portsmouth, coming together to honor the heroes of our great nation, our veterans. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to you for inviting me to participate in this special occasion. Today, we stand united to pay homage to our veterans for their unwavering sacrifices and steadfast dedication to our country. It is our duty to express our deepest gratitude to the brave men and women of our armed forces, both past and present, who have selflessly stepped forward to defend our nation. The United States is home, as you heard, to more than 16.5 million veterans who have formerly served, with an additional 1.4 million actively serving in the military today. The freedoms we hold dear persist because of their service and sacrifices. We are truly fortunate to have a robust military presence in Hampton Roads, and we deeply appreciate the unyielding support from our community leaders right here in Portsmouth and the surrounding cities. Many of us here today have had the privilege of knowing individuals, be they family members, friends, or neighbors, who have personally sacrificed and endured long separations from their families to serve on ships and submarines or support vital missions far from home. These remarkable individuals have dedicated themselves to a cause greater than their personal interests, embodying some of our nation's most admirable qualities, purpose, and patriotism. We owe them a debt of gratitude that can never be fully repaid. This year, the theme of Veterans Day is service. Service is a powerful and deeply resonant concept. It encompasses a multitude of values and experiences that deserve our utmost respect and admiration. First and foremost, the service of military veterans reflects an unwavering commitment to their country and their fellow citizens. It is a selfless act of dedicating one's life to safeguarding the freedoms and values we hold dear. Whether through peacetime duties or combat deployments, veterans have demonstrated a resolute determination to serve and to protect and defend our nation. Service also embodies the sacrifices made by those individuals. It goes beyond the time spent in uniform. It extends to the physical and emotional toll of military life. Veterans have endured long separations from their families, faced the rigors of training and exercises, and confronted the challenges and sometimes the horrific reality of combat. These sacrifices are a testament to their courage and their resilience. Moreover, the service of military veterans encapsulates a sense of duty and honor that transcends their time in uniform. Even after leaving active service, many veterans continue to serve their communities and country in various capacities, whether through public service, volunteer work, or continuing to contribute to the workforce. This enduring commitment reflects a deep understanding of the responsibilities that come with the privilege of living in a free and democratic society. The service of military veterans is also marked by a unique camaraderie and shared sense of purpose. Veterans form tight-knit communities that provide support, understanding, and a strong sense of belonging. They forge bonds that can only be understood by those who have walked in the same path. And this connection remains a vital part of their lives long after they've left the military. The service of our veterans represents the very best of our society, and it's a reminder of the importance of upholding our shared values and freedoms. As a society, we owe an immeasurable debt of gratitude to our veterans, and it's our duty to honor their service and support their transition back to civilian life. For me, as the commanding officer at Norfolk Naval Shipyard, Veterans Day is also an ideal opportunity to reflect on the critical role played by the shipyard in its service to supporting our Navy and the brave sailors who serve on our ships. You may have heard various mottos associated with the shipyard, such as "We are America's shipyard," "Any ship, anytime, anywhere," or "Service to the fleet." To me, they all emphasize our unwavering commitment to service as a shipyard. As one of the only 4 public shipyards in the United States, our shipyard possesses unique knowledge, skills, and capabilities that are essential for the maintenance and modernization of our fleet. Through our consistent and persistent service, we ensure that our ships are ready and where they need to be when they are needed. The recent deployment of the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower to the Middle East serves as a stark reminder of our shipyard's role in these critical operations. It was Norfolk Naval Shipyard that helped ready the Eisenhower for this crucial mission. The addition of the Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group to the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group, another ship that we service, sends a powerful message, deterring escalation in the region and providing vital intelligence gathering and patrol capabilities. In a world marked by increased threats, the service of our military members remains fundamental in showcasing America's unwavering resolve against those who wish harm upon us and our allies. Norfolk Naval Shipyard stands at the ready to help prepare these national assets to deter potential adversaries. Of note, a significant portion of our shipyard's workforce is comprised of veterans. Their presence enriches our workforce with their unique career knowledge, personal experiences, and deep appreciation for the significance of service to our Navy and our nation. However, whether veterans or not, historically our civilian workforce has stood shoulder to shoulder with the armed services, taking on some of the most challenging and demanding roles imaginable. From recovering bodies and stabilizing the USS Cole following its terrorist attack in Yemen, to traveling to Kuwait to up-armor armored vehicles serving in the War on Terror, our workforce has been instrumental in helping to preserve our national security. I often say that the shipyard doesn't run on machines, gears, engines, and fuel. It runs on people. While the same holds true for our military. While planes, ships, tanks, and trucks may play essential roles in achieving the mission, they are nothing without capable and committed individuals performing their crucial roles across the globe. In conclusion, let us remember the invaluable service and sacrifices of our veterans, and let us honor them not only on this special day, but every day. May we never forget the debt of gratitude we owe to those who have dedicated years, and often decades, to preserving our freedoms and protecting our nation. Thank you, veterans, for your unwavering commitment, and thank you to all who continue to support and serve our great nation.
So as Captain Mossman said, Portsmouth is a military community, a maritime community. All you have to do is look over the river and you see the maritime business surrounding us. We're a Navy city, we're a Coast Guard city. In fact, we're recognized as the Coast Guard city. And yes, we even have some Army folks that we allow to live with us. I want to spend just a minute recognizing the veterans who are in the crowd. I'm not going to ask Sergeant Major Toller to stand again, but I will ask our veterans, if you're seated, when I ask you to stand, please stand. And if you're already standing, give us a wave and let us know who you are. So are there any other Korean War veterans in the crowd? Okay, how about Vietnam vets? Thank you for your service. How about folks who served during the Cold War? So after Vietnam concluded and through Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm, please stand or raise your hand. Let us celebrate you. Thank you. And now for our folks who started their service or actually finished their service since 9/11. So if you served in Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, or are currently serving, would you stand and be recognized? So we have one more way of celebrating our veterans. We're going to do this by service. So we have the Tidewater Concert Band here with us today. Please thank them for their participation. And we're going to ask the Tidewater Concert Band to play their military medley. And so when your services song is played, please stand and be recognized. So before we conclude today's ceremony, there's some other folks that we need to thank. I mentioned at the start of the ceremony, this is a joint effort between the Military Affairs Committee and the city staff. And so I want to call out some city folks who were working behind the scenes to pull today together. First, Peter Glagola, director of our marketing team, our audiovisual team, all that group works to tell the Portsmouth message around town. So thanks to Peter and your team. The guys standing way out there in the orange and yellow vests who set the chairs up and got everything organized today from our city Parks and Rec. Please give them your thanks. And one more time, the Tidewater Concert Band for your participation today. That concludes today's ceremony. As you wander around our city, please thank a vet. Thanks for coming today.